Okay, this question is very similar to your test, so please make sure if you don't understand this, watch it again. Okay, it says most television shows use 11 minutes for every hour, which is 60 minutes, for commercials, leaving 49 minutes for the actual show. Okay, so our first, it's 11 to 49. Okay, that's our first ratio. One popular television show wants to change the ratio of the commercial time to show time to be 3 to 7. That's our second ratio. Create two ratio tables, one for the normal ratio of the commercials to programming, and another for the proposed or the change ratio of commercial to programming. Use the ratio tables to make a statement about which ratio would mean fewer commercials for viewers. So we want to make the table to make sure that which ratio would mean fewer commercials for viewers. Watching 2 hours of television. 2 hours is 60 minutes plus 60 minutes, which is 120 minutes. All right, so I'm going to set up my ratio tables. For my first one was the normal, and my second one is the proposed, or the change. Okay, let's do the normal one first. Okay, so here, 11 to 49. So let's set up this table. But remember, there's three things I need to keep in mind. I need to keep in mind the hour of television, how long it's going to take, because I need to get down here to 2 hours. So I'm going to keep in mind for an hour. I also need to keep in mind the commercial time and the show time. So that's three things I need to add on my tables. Okay. So I'm going to keep in mind the total time of the program. It would help if I spelled that right. Okay, so we have total time, and we have commercial time. I'm going to abbreviate this. Commercial time, and we have show time. Okay, so up above, it said that our ratio, 11 minutes of commercials and 49 minutes of actual show. So 11 minutes and 49. So the total time of that show was 60 minutes. All of these are going to be given in minutes. Okay? Now, we need this to be 2 hours, so let's make an equivalent ratio to these, timesing each one by 2, because 60 times 2 will give me my 120 minutes, my 2-hour time. So 120 here. 11 times 2 is 22. 49 times 2 is 98. Okay, so I've created my equivalent ratio table. Now remember, I'm comparing these, so I must get something the same to compare. Otherwise, I can't compare these unless something is the same. That'll be impossible to compare. So let's make a ratio for the second one. So we're saying commercial time to show time was 3 to 7. So 3 belongs to the commercial and 7 belongs to the show. Okay, let's make another one. So we have total, because remember it said to create two different ratio tables. So total time, commercial time, I abbreviated this again, and show time. Okay, so let's fill out total time. The total time we said was, oh, we don't know. Okay, so we can probably figure that out though. The commercial time was 3, show time was 7. Now the total time, if you look here, 49 plus 11 gave us 60. So let's say 7 plus 3 is 10. So this is like 10 minutes. So let's make equivalent ratios so we can compare them to the 60 and 120. Well, this is easy since we're working with tens. We can times each one of these by 6, and that will give us 60 minutes. 10 times 6 is 60. 3 times 6 is 18. And 7 times 6 is 42. Okay, now we can compare. But we want to know for 2 hours, so let's continue our ratio. So now we can do this. Now we can take, just like we did here when we times by 2, times by 2, times by 2, let's do that here. So 60 times 2 is 120. 18 times 2 is 36. And 42 times 2 is 84. Okay, now we can clearly see which one of these has the better, what would be better for viewers. If you are watching TV, which one of these would you rather watch? So let's look at the commercial time, because this, now we know that these are even, so now we can compare. So we have 11 minutes here for the normal, 22. Look at proposed. You're going to spend 18 minutes watching commercials and 36 minutes here watching commercials. So, at the very end, it said to make a statement. That means to write a sentence. Okay, so let's write a sentence based on what we know. We obviously know that the normal time is much better ratio than the proposed. Okay, so let's write a sentence. The normal way that's an N. Okay, I'm going to type this. So the normal way is better for viewers in a 2-hour show. The normal way uses 22 minutes for commercials. Oops. But the new way would use 36 minutes for commercials. Okay, so we made a statement on why that is that's the case. Remember 121 or 120 is 2 hours, 60 minutes is 1 hour. All right, remember you have a question very, very similar to this one, so I hope that you go home, maybe watch this again, or watch it tomorrow morning when you get to school if you don't have internet. At school, maybe watch it twice. All right, you'll do great.